Hello, we'll start in 5 minutes. Right now, only four students are there. Three. Hello, am I audible? Hello, but the four students are there in the meeting. Why it is so? Yes, ask your friends to join this lecture. We'll wait for another. Okay, we'll start the session. Let it be. Whether the screen is visible? Yes, screen is visible to everyone. Okay. See, in the last lecture, we have taken the overview of security attacks, then the security services. We have started with the security mechanism. So all of you know the basic difference between these three tasks. Security services and mechanisms are somewhat related, and security attacks everyone know. So basically, the security mechanisms are used for providing whatever the services we are providing that are implemented by means of security mechanism. That's why we can say in a single word that is security mechanisms are used to provide the security. That's it. Okay. Then, so as to provide the security, what procedure is to be followed to maintain the security? So that we'll see in the further units. Basically, it is dealing with the cryptography techniques, different algorithms. But what is the basic procedure or what technique is used, that we'll see in the further units. But in short, the security mechanisms provide the security in the system. We have seen security mechanisms are divided into two categories, that is specific security mechanism and pervasive security mechanism. So what is the difference between these two security mechanisms are? Both are the security mechanisms, but see the word specific. So these specific security mechanisms are implemented into the protocol layer in order to provide the some of the OSI related security services. Already we have discussed what are the services. And under this specific security mechanisms, what are the different mechanisms by means of that the security can be achieved, that is enlisted. Yesterday we have seen this in detail. We'll just revise the things. Encipherment, this is related to the ciphertext. So in the further units you will come across the terminologies, that is plain text, ciphertext, encryption, decryption. But right now this encipherment is one of the technique which is used to hide or make the message in the unreadable format so as to achieve the confidentiality. Okay, so how it is achieved, so that is written here. There are different mathematical algorithms to transform data into form of the not readable format, and that we'll see. And these algorithms are called as the encryption and decryption algorithm. In general, the data is hide or convert that data into the message into the unreadable format. That is the basic thing in the encipherment. Then we have seen digital signature. Digital signature is not the just a soft copy. So here for what purpose the signature is required, so all of you know, so as to make any document authenticate, we have to take the respective person's signature. The same concept here applicable, that is the digital signature, because the data is transferred to the network. That's why here there is a need of digital signature. So when you want to authenticate the entity of the sender and receiver, then this digital signature is required. Okay, so how it is achieved, so the data may be appended or some cryptography transformation techniques are used so as to ensure that the sender and receiver the identity. So that is related to the digital signature. So there are different mathematical schemes used for the authentication, which also maintains the data integrity. Yesterday we have seen in the data integrity, the data should the information or message should be secure and it should not be modified. So this is done, everything is done electronically. So it means by which the sender can electronically sign the data and receiver can electronically verify the signature. Then the authentication is also achieved and data integrity is also achieved by using the digital signature mechanism. Then we have seen the meaning of access control. So the access control, the word itself explains that the control of the access is given by different means. So the access control, the access control, it will not be same for all the category. So here the organization, or I have taken the example of college, the student access control, the faculty access control, the administration access controls are different. Okay, so that there will be in that the confidentiality is maintained. So as to maintain the confidentiality, or you can say so as to increase the security, the access control should be given. Proper right person, right particular access is given. Then the data integrity. So the variety of mechanisms are used to assure that integrity of data or the stream of data units, that is the data should not be modified. So here also what is actually done is the mechanism appends to the data short to check the value has been created by specific format or not, and then receiver again cross check the same thing by the sender. Okay, so if both values are same, the integrity of data has been preserved, so that can be achieved. Then basically in data, after data integrity there is a authentication exchange. So we have to maintain the authentication, but by information exchange or by message exchange. This mechanism is intended to ensure the identity of the entity by means of information exchange. Means whether the sender is sender, receiver is receiver, they are genuine, that is to be checked By what means? By means of information exchange. So the information is sent from sender to receiver, and vice versa from receiver to sender, so as to get the so as to verify whether these entities are proper or that entities are genuine. That is, authentication is done by means of information exchange. So I have given the example, your share it or Bluetooth, it requires authentication. And how that authentication is done? By the OTP, that is the number which is used to send, so as to get the identity of each entity, sender and receiver. The next concept is the traffic padding. So already we have discussed what do you mean by padding. Padding means adding some extra bits in the information in the message, or adding some extra packets in the message. Okay, means insertion of bits into the gap in the data stream to frustrate the traffic analysis attempt. So we have seen at the time of passive attack, the type of one of the type of passive attack is traffic analysis, and in that traffic analysis, the opponent or the attacker or intruder, so what it does, it just continuously monitor the traffic, continuously monitor the messages, so different patterns, frequency, likewise data the opponent observes. So if we send the data with some extra packets or some extra bit, so that opponent will get confused, so as to confuse that particular intruder or attacker, we have to add some extra bits, dummy bits we can say, in the original message. And that, by using this, what we are achieving is, we are achieving the type of attack is a passive attack, and in that specific attack is a traffic analysis attack. Then next is routing control. So when A and B, they are sending messages to each other, they require some path, they require some channel, they require some network, they require some route. So that route, if that particular route is controlled, by controlling that route, we can achieve the security. Because A can send the data to the B by different paths, mixture of paths. So that is happen, and by using that, we can achieve the security. So basically, this particular routing control enables the selection of particular physically secure route for certain data, and allows the routing changes, means change in the path, especially when breach of security is suspected. Means continuously changing different available routes or paths between sender and receiver. For what purpose? So as to prevent the attack. Means what we are doing here is, we are confusing that opponent or attacker. And last one is the notarization. So notarization, the same word I have used, that is the guarantor. So all of you come across the terminology or the concept. When we want a loan, at that time we require a guarantor. Means that guarantor is also called as the third party, but trusted third party. Within bank and the particular who wants the loan, that is sender and receiver, okay, but that guarantor can be a trusted third party. So the use of trusted third party to assure certain properties of data exchange, and by means of that, we can secure the data, we can secure maintain the security. So for that purpose, this notarization is also one of the security mechanism, and this particular mechanism is used to prevent the repudiation, because there is an involvement of third party, or to be specific, the trusted third party. So this is all comes under the category which is called as the specific security mechanism, and they are implemented over the protocol layer by different services, security services. Now, the next concept comes under the security mechanism only, is pervasive security mechanism. So what is this mechanism? In short, this mechanism is generalized mechanism. This mechanism is not used to transfer, or it is not applicable or implemented over the protocol layer. So it is not specific to any particular OSI security services. So it is a generalized mechanism. Generalized concepts covers under this security mechanism. So we'll see one by one. So see, by observing these terms, you can just see these are the general terms, but again related to the security only. So what do you mean by trusted functionality? So if there is the system, the data is exchanged between sender and receiver, but whether the data is exchanged properly, whether the attacker is doing some malfunctioning, so that is to be checked, that is to be checked by certain security policies, so as to ensure whether the system is working, system functionality is trusted or not trusted. So that's why the first security mechanism is trusted functionality. So basically, that is perceived to be correct with respect to some criteria, and that criteria are nothing but your security policy. Some security policies are designed, and as per that security policy, whether the functionality is working or not, so whether to trust on the functionality of the system or not, so that can be decided by this trusted functionality, and obviously we can achieve the security. Then security labels. Now see, by using standard labels, the security can be maintained, the security can be achieved. The standard labels are there so as to decide the security. So this is one of the another concept related to the security mechanism. Making bound to resource which may be a data unit that names or designates the security attributes of that resources. So for different resources, different attributes are there, and by that attributes we can able to achieve the security. In short, the labels are there to maintain the security, to detect the security. Okay, next is event detection. So the number of events are detected during the transfer of the data, but whether that event detected are proper or not, the events are normal, or a opponent or attacker is doing the malfunctioning things, so that is detected under the event detection. In short, event detection means detection of security relevant events. Okay, it should be detected. Next thing is security audit trails. So while transferring the data in this any system, data is collected, and so as to validate that data, so as to do the analysis of the data, the security audit is done. Okay, and which is independent. What it will provide, it will give the review and the examination of the system records and activities, whether the activities are doing properly or not, what is the review of that particular functionality of the system. So all these are examined, and security audit is maintained so as to get the information about that particular system. Okay, in short, we are reviewing the system by system security audit trails. And lastly, the security recovery. So all of you know the meaning of recovery. So when due to number of attacks, if the data is lost, what are the different possibilities to recover that data? So that comes under the security recovery. Deals with the request from the mechanism such as event handling, management function, and takes the recovery actions. Okay, so these are the 4 to 5 things, or 5 points which comes under the pervasive security mechanisms. So trusted functionality, the security label, event detection, security audit trails, and security recovery. So here we are checking the whether the functionality is trusted or not. By different labels we are checking the security. We are detecting the event, whether the event is normal or attacker is malfunctioning. We are doing the audit for the security so as to review or examine the system. And lastly, if there is a loss of data, how to recover the data from the system, that comes under the security recovery part. So these are the security mechanism. So see, as far as this OSI model is concerned, standard security OSI model, The three parts we have seen, and all three parts we have covered, that is security attack, security mechanism, and security services. Okay, we can say three aspects of the information system, information security. So these are very very important topics from unit number 1, and unit number 1 is very small, so these are the only important topics whatever we have covered. Now, next is the network security model. Now, we have seen what are the different types of attack are available while transferring the data, what are the different services that can be provided, and what are the different mechanism to provide the service so as to get the security. But here you can observe the generalized network security model. So we'll see one by one what it indicates or what it gives us the information. Basically, all of you know from day one, I am telling you that one sender and one receiver will be there. Sender is sending the data to the receiver to different channels. This is the information channel. Okay. Now, what is in between this? Now, as we have seen, this is the network security model. So, this is a generalized model where there is a concern of security. Now, when sender is sending the data to the receiver to different channels, all of you know there will be opponent, there will be attacker, there will be an intruder. So, as to get rid of from that particular points, we have to make our message as a secure message. So when a sender is sending the message through the information channel, before that, this is to be done. The message transformation, and how that message transformation is done by some encryption techniques. And for that, you require the secret information, that is also called a key. See, the symbol of this is like a key. So that secret information is called as a key. So with the key, the message is transformed, and whatever is the original message, that message is available now in secure message format. Okay, and once this is transformed, once this is modified, that message is transferred through any information channel to the receiver. So now at the receiver, first of all, secure message will come, and again at the receiver end, that message transformation is done with the help of the secret key, and that receiver can get the original message. Okay, so this is a secure message. So this particular technique is called as a encryption, and this particular technique is called as a decryption. And so as to get the two techniques, we require the secret information. Secret information or key is nothing but a number. So that is added. So why this is done? So as to get rid of from different attacks. Okay, so if in between, while transferring the data from sender to receiver, if any opponent or any attacker get access of this information, that attacker does not know the original message. That attacker can't find the original message easily. Okay, so yes, there are different ways, but in general, as this is a generalized network security model, so these are the minimum things we should consider. Okay, so as to protect from the attack, so this particular part is done, that is the message transformation at the sender level and message transformation at the receiver level. So at the sender level, sender is modifying the message, securing the message with the help of key, and at the receiver end, receiver is retrieving the original message from the secure message with the help of key. Okay, and as we have seen, opponent, attacker, or third party is different, but trusted third party is also important. So what is the meaning of trusted third party? So sometimes it requires the resources access and all. So this is very very important in the communication channel, or sending the data from sender to receiver. So this is important part, and from this we have to take the different actions so as to get the security. The same diagram is available. So whatever I have explained, that is explained in the PPT using this model. So what using this model, what we are doing so as to get the security, because this is a generalized model. But when you want to implement any algorithm, we have to think of this structure. Okay, so very first thing is we have to design a suitable algorithm for the security transformation. Okay, first thing is generation of designing of algorithm for security transformation. Then generate the secret information and key used by the algorithm. Secret information means some keys are used to secure the information by the different algorithms. Different keys are used. So that is the second step, generate the secret information used by the algorithm. Then develop method to distribute and share the secret method. Then develop the different method to share or distribute the secret information. Specify the protocol enabling the principal to use the transformation and secret information for a security service. We have to specify the different protocols also. Now see, here there is one model for network security. So what you can observe here is there is an information system, so which consists of the computer resources, that is the processor, memory, IO. Most important thing is the data, process, software or internal security controls. So if anyone want to access these resources, anyone want to get the access of these all information or data, they should travel or they should go through this access channel. But so as to get the security, so as to protect the data, so as to provide the security, there is an important thing which is called as a gatekeeper. Can anyone tell me what is the function of this gatekeeper? Yes, see the diagram properly. What is the function of this gatekeeper? Or can you tell me any example of gatekeeper? Yes, so as to protect the data, what we can do? Yes, Atharva, Abhijit. Yes, like security guard, but what is a technical word? In day-to-day life also you can use this. Yes, Tanvi, for some extent it is correct. It is a gatekeeper or it is a guard, so as to give the protection, so as to maintain the security. But here we can heard the word as firewall. We can put a firewall, we can use the firewall, we can use the password technology. Then this particular information system will be security. But because the accessing of this information security can be anyone, so here the opponent can be a human, a cracker, attacker, intruder, or in some cases a software. Different viruses are there. So that's why this is the important function. The gatekeeper function plays an important role. Okay. So this is just a model for network access security, and this is a model for network generalized model. This is a generalized model, but here this plays an important role. Okay. Now it is written what we can do from this particular model for network access security. Select the appropriate gatekeeper functions to identify the user, whether that user is a correct or genuine user, or that is an attacker, or that is an intruder. That is the first job, whether we have to, that particular gatekeeper has to select. Okay, then implement the security controls to ensure only authorized user access the designated information and resources. So that care has to be taken, and trusted computer system may be useful to help implement this particular model. So basically when you want to implement this model, so you require the trusted computer system. So this is about the network security model, generalized model, where you can find this basic minimum things: sender, receiver, information channel, and at the sender level secure message, and retrieving the secure message at the receiver level. Opponent can be an attacker, intruder, or any, it may be a human, it may be a software, or this is a trusted third party. Then, so see, almost as per the syllabus, this unit number 1 is completed. So attacks on computer and computer security. At the start, we have seen this topics from your unit or from the syllabus. That is introduction, need for security, security approaches, principles of security, types of security attacks, security services, security mechanism, and lastly, a generalized model for network security. Means almost all the points we have covered. So if you have missed any lecture, I will share the PPTs because I have not recorded the previous lectures. But these points are very, very simple. So you can use the PPT, or you can use the Atul Kahate book, or the Cryptography and Network Security by William Stallings book. So these two books are sufficient for your network security subject. And the unit number 1 is purely theoretical. From next unit, from the unit number 2, you will get the interest because standard algorithms are there so as to provide the security. Different techniques are there. By different techniques, how to secure the message. So some interesting things are there in unit number 2 and 3. So we'll see from next week. We'll see the unit number 2. Till now, if you are having any doubt related to the unit number 1, you can ask. So this is just for your information, because the number of terms are the generalized terms, so you can explore. Already I told in the previous lecture also that terms you can explain according to your understanding, but with respect to security, not in the generalized concept. Okay? Yes. प्रशांत, क्या चल रहा है? ज्वाइन हो रहे हो, लेफ्ट हो रहे हो?
मैम नेटवर्क इशू है थोड़ा यहाँ पे।
आपको ही नेटवर्क इशू आ रहा है? आज
आपका
बहुत दिनों
इंटर्नशिप
के
चालू
बाद
है, आपके
ज्वाइन हो
नेट
गए
का
ना?
इशू है।
बहुत दिनों
हाँ
के
मैम।
बाद ज्वाइन हो गए लेक्चर।
नहीं मैम।
कल तो नहीं थे?
हाँ मैम, कल नहीं था मैम।
ठीक है। यस, अभी लेक्चर ही नहीं किया तो कैसे समझेगा, और समझ में नहीं आया तो डाउट्स भी नहीं आएंगे. तो यू जस्ट रीड वंस when you
मैम
get the time,
पीपीटी आप अगर भेज
and
सकते हो तो इजी
then
हो जाएगा।
you can ask me the doubts. Atul Kahate, Tanvi, Atul Kahate, Cryptography and Network Security by Atul Kahate. These books are available in the library. So once you come back from your internship, you can just take that books from the library. Atul Kahate, one book, Cryptography and Network Security, and same Cryptography and Network Security by William Stallings. I will just send the names in the chat box. Atul Kahate and William Stallings. And the name of the book is Cryptographic and Network Securities. Okay. So I will send you the PPT. You just go through it. Saturday, Sunday is there. And if you are having any doubt, you can ask in the next lecture. Otherwise, in the next lecture, we'll start the unit number 2. Because unit number 1 is very, very simple and purely theoretical one. Okay?
मैम पीपीटी शेयर कर सकती हो?
हाँ, बोला ना करने वाली हूँ बोल के. फिलहाल माइक्रो कंट्रोलर के इसमें शेयर करूंगी, आप चेक कर लो एक बार. अगर टाइम मिला तो नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी का एक ग्रुप बनाती हूँ गूगल क्लासरूम का.
चलेगा मैम।
Otherwise, on WhatsApp group also. Okay. So I think we'll stop here today. Thank you all. If you want
Thank you,
to
ma'am.
discuss, you want to ask anything, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll stop. So in the next lecture, we'll start the unit number 2.